Hey there! Let's start this video with a question. When was the last time you truly let yourself rest? And I don't mean just collapsing into bed at the end of an exhausting day or zoning out while scrolling on your phone. I mean real rest. Intentional, guilt-free rest. If you're struggling to think of an answer, you're not alone. We live in a world that glorifies productivity. We measure our worth by how much we accomplish, how busy we are, how fast we can keep moving. And somewhere along the way, we've picked up this unspoken rule. Rest is lazy. Rest is weakness. But I want to challenge that. Today, I want to remind you of something that might feel radical in the world we live in. It's okay to rest. Let's talk about why rest feels so hard. For so many of us, rest comes with guilt. You finally sit down to take a break, and almost immediately your brain starts whispering, "Shouldn't you be doing something right now?" We've been conditioned to associate rest with laziness. We hear it in phrases like, "I'll sleep when I'm dead," or "hustle culture is the only way to success." It's baked into how we talk about work, about success, even about self-worth. And when we do rest, it can feel like we're failing, like we're falling behind, like we're not doing enough. But here's the thing, rest isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. I'll be honest with you. This is something I've struggled with too. There was a time when my to-do list felt endless. I was pushing myself to be everything to everyone, saying yes to every opportunity, filling every spare moment with work or projects. I thought that if I just worked hard enough, I'd finally feel like I was enough. But then I hit a wall. I was burned out, overwhelmed and exhausted. Physically, emotionally, mentally. And even then I told myself, just push through it. You don't have time to rest. It wasn't until I let myself stop, really stop, that I realized something important. Rest isn't the enemy of progress. It's the foundation of it. Here's what I wish someone had told me sooner. Rest isn't lazy. Rest is healing. Rest is productive in its own way. When we rest, we give our minds and bodies a chance to recover. We replenish our energy, reset our perspective, and reconnect with ourselves. Think about it. Even nature rests. Trees go dormant in the winter. Fields lay fallow so they can grow stronger crops. The ocean has its ebbs and flows. So why do we think we're any different? Before we talk about how to embrace rest, let's clear up some myths about it. Myth 1. Rest is unproductive. Rest might not feel like it's accomplishing anything, but that couldn't be further from the truth. When you rest, you're giving yourself the energy and clarity to tackle your goals more effectively later. Myth 2. Rest means doing nothing. Rest doesn't have to look like lying on the couch all day. Although that's perfectly okay if that's what you need. Rest can be a walk in the park, a warm bath, reading a book, or even creative activities that recharge you. Myth 3. You have to earn rest. You don't have to check off a certain number of tasks before you're allowed to rest. Rest is your right, not a reward. One of the biggest shifts for me was realizing that rest isn't something I have to justify. I don't need to deserve it. Rest is part of being human. It's not about doing more. It's about being. So, how do we let go of the guilt and actually embrace rest? Here are a few things that have helped me. Step 1. Redefine rest. Rest doesn't have to mean lying in bed all day. Although, again, that's okay if that's what you need. Rest can be anything that replenishes your energy. Maybe it's spending time in nature, journaling, listening to music, or simply staring out the window. The key is to find what feels restorative to you. Step 2. Schedule it. One of the best ways to prioritize rest is to treat it like any other important commitment. Put it on your calendar. Set aside specific times for rest and protect those times like you would any other appointment. Step 3. Start small. If resting feels uncomfortable at first, start small. Give yourself 5 minutes to close your eyes and breathe. Take a short walk. Let yourself enjoy one quiet cup of tea. The more you practice, the easier it will become to embrace longer periods of rest. Step 4. Be kind to yourself. It's natural to feel some guilt or resistance when you start prioritizing rest, especially if you're used to being constantly busy. When those feelings come up, remind yourself, I'm not lazy. I'm taking care of myself. Treat yourself with the same compassion you'd offer a friend who's feeling burned out. When you start to embrace rest, something amazing happens. You begin to notice the little things, the way sunlight dances on your walls, the sound of leaves rustling outside, the simple joy of breathing deeply. You find that your energy comes back. Not all at once, but little by little. You start to feel more present, more grounded, more you. And when you return to your work, your goals, your responsibilities, you approach them with more clarity and focus. Rest doesn't take away from your life. It adds to it. In a world that constantly tells us to do more, be more, achieve more, choosing to rest is a radical act. It's a way of saying, I am enough, exactly as I am. Rest reminds us that we're human, not machines. It reconnects us to our needs, our values, and our purpose. So, if you're feeling tired, burned out, or stretched too thin, I want to remind you, it's okay to rest. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to justify it. You're allowed to pause. Because rest isn't just something you do for yourself. It's something you do for the people around you too. When you take care of yourself, you show up as your best self. For your loved ones, your work, and your dreams. And you're worth taking care of. If this resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's one way you're planning to rest this week? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who might need a reminder that it's okay to slow down. Take a deep breath. You're doing enough. You are enough.